Welcome to episode 193 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer and Matt Bell.
Me.
Thanks for having me this morning.
You say that every week, Matt.
It's something to say.
You're so lame.
You blasted out a me, and it reminded me of Nemo, where they're like, mine. That's what I immediately thought of.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So we're back to our normal time.
I know.
Thank God.
It seems like a lot. It seems like it's been an incredibly long time since you recorded last.
Yeah, but it's been a week and 3 days.
I know.
It seems like months.
But it seems like it's been. I feel like I've done so much in that time.
Yeah, it was an eventful week. A lot happened.
Yeah, I did a lot of shit.
Me too.
Did you do a lot of shit, or did you do a normal amount of shit, but there was 3 extra days tacked on?
No, I did extra
So it feels like a lot.
I did extra shit. I catered a wedding last weekend. If you pay attention on Twitter, you listeners know that.
At Shirtless Dan.
At shirtlessdan.com. Or at shirtlessdan.
At
Not a thing.
Not no.com.
That's
No.com. I fucked it up. It's fucking early.
Right.
I just want people to see pictures of me. No. So, yeah, 125-pound pig and 180 pieces of chicken.
In case you're
Appreciate
wondering,
you doing
that's a lot of chicken.
Hey, I appreciate you doing anything like that when you lived within 100 miles of us.
That's a good point.
Yep.
You wouldn't have come over anyway. You'd be like, oh, yeah, bring me some of that pig. I'll try it.
I would have liked
Ryan
the
wouldn't
opportunity to have not come, though.
Right. Ryan's the one that's the recluse, not me.
Hermit Ryan.
Yeah, at hermitryan.com.
At hermitryan.com.
At hermitryan.com. It's just where I talk about not doing things with people.
Right.
It just cycles.
Well, no,
through
I
the
didn't have
excuses I use.
I didn't have the setup when I was there. Since I've come here, my dad and I have kind of built the setup. So this was he's getting ready to retire, so it's something he's thinking about doing because he's always enjoyed doing it for like smaller parties. So this was just like a hillbilly redneck friend wedding. So they asked us to do it. So this was kind of like our test run, and it actually came out pretty well.
Did you stay for the wedding?
The wedding was actually went on while we were cooking.
I like that. I like that I don't have to go to the wedding.
Yeah, we didn't
Right,
have to go to the wedding.
actually have to do anything.
But we were up early. We were up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we were standing in 85 degree heat with standing around 3 large smoker grills. So it was super hot and flipping everything and basting it and all that stuff. So by the end, we didn't hang out for the reception. We ended up going home and fucking crashing.
Or going home and fucking. I thought that's where that was going.
As soon as I walked in the door, my wife was like, "Oh, I can smell you." And she was like around the corner in the bedroom.
Is it not a positive smell?
I believe it was probably a chicken and pig smoke smell.
So it smelled like a man when you walked in.
Yes.
Yeah,
smell.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It smelled like wood chips and fucking pig.
Yeah, like a true hunter-gatherer right here.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You sprinkle some gunpowder in your hair and she would have been all over you.
But everything went well, so we are going to be working on more stuff to maybe get that going for when he retires.
Are you trying to retire at the same time?
Well, I don't know if trying is the right word. I would absolutely love to, but I don't see it happening.
I mean, is it a feasible business for the two of you?
I would say, as far as doing it as a business, you need 2 people, but it's not warm year-round here, and it's a bitch to cook in the middle of snow and cold. Everything takes longer to cook. You have to completely recalibrate all your timelines, so I would say probably not. It's good for a part-time gig for someone who is retired and is already collecting a check.
It seems like you could get rich, though, cooking in the fucking blizzard.
But possibly. I don't know if there's a huge call for that.
I like food even when it's cold.
Well, there's other ways to cook it, though, that don't involve standing in the snow.
Yeah, but nothing tastes as good as fucking cooked outside.
That is true. I don't feel like people would want to pay me enough to do that.
They wouldn't pay you what you feel like you need to stand out in the snow.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
What I feel that's worth and what they feel that's worth are two numbers that are way away from each other, I'm sure.
So when you do you charge per, like with a chicken, is that per chicken? Like what's how do you do your price?
It's by the
pound?
Yeah, it was all by the pound. Essentially what we did is we went, I don't know, why am I giving away my business secrets?
I mean, I don't have to give it away. I was just curious about that one detail.
Doing here. I see what
I don't know if that's a business secret.
But no, actually we determined...
Not anymore.
You know, there's a certain pounds per person, how much you're expected to eat. You know, like I think when you cook a turkey, they expect a pound of turkey for each person at the table, so on and so forth. Same formula. So we just figured up, you know, got the guest list of how many people they were having and used that formula to figure out what we needed.
A couple people like me show up, your formula is fucked.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's why you always get a little more.
I don't care about averages.
But there was a little bit of chicken left, and the bride and groom kept that. And there was no pork left. Pork was gone. I also made my homemade barbecue sauce.
That pork looked incredible. That was probably the best looking thing that you posted. That split hog on the fucking grill, man, that looked good.
Yeah. You'd believe the people who... Because there's people that came for this wedding from, like, all over the place. Like, there's this dude from Britain there and people from Hawaii and stuff. But they've come from all over the United States, some of them, and, like, people would just come over and they'd be like, I didn't even know you could do this. Like, never even heard of a...
Did you roast a whole pig?
Of roasting a whole pig.
Huh.
Did you tell them that you can do humans the same way?
No. I should have. And then that would make them stop talking to me quickly.
And then just never blink again and just stare deep into their soul until they walk off.
But we were a pretty big hit, actually. Everybody, like, as part of the reception, people would come over and hang out with us afterwards while we're trying to cook their food for them.
Did you have a shirt on?
I did have a shirt on, unfortunately. I did want to take it off at one point.
It's frowned upon when you're cooking, though.
But, yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants a shirtless dude over there cooking dinner.
When you're cooking and at a wedding.
It's kind of great.
There are some people dressed up nice, and there you are, shirtless in your nasty-ass fucking cargo shorts. Yep.
Sounds like what you're... I mean, that sounds like the right experience for a redneck wedding.
It would fit, yeah. It would fit. But no, so, yeah, that was that. It was a good time. It was fun. It was definitely exhausting and tiring, but did make some good money on it, so... And extra money always helps.
Yeah, I like extra money. That allows me to buy extra video games.
Extra stuff.
Because I've got some pre-ordered that I haven't picked up yet.
Oh, yeah? Which ones?
I've got Recore still. Which I really want Recore, but apparently the Xbox One version is just super fucked.
I hear that's not worth picking up.
Apparently the game itself, like walks on the line of brilliant, but it falls off the other side to not there.
That's what I've... Yeah,
but the Xbox One version apparently is broken, and you get the PC version with it, but I'm not certain if my computer can run it.
I'll say that it probably can't if you're not certain that it can.
They say that it's not too graphically intense, but I don't know. Also, I don't want to play on PC.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I'm surprised you didn't. You should have led with that.
Well,
to be honest,
I think if I got that today, I probably would try because everyone says the game itself is like moments of brilliance. And I've looked forward to it for a while. So I don't know.
Wait for that huge patch to come out that fixes the console version, and then go grab her.
It's only $40. So if I wait, it'll probably take a 29. It'll probably jump to 29.
Right.
And then what was the other thing I had pre-ordered? Something else I had pre-ordered. It came out last week or the week before or something. I can't remember what it was.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah, that was it. Said nobody.
Attack on Titan looks really fucking good.
I know, I want it.
I don't know if you've
it.
watched any gameplay reviews or anything. It looks really good, and it's
Yeah, it
getting
does.
some pretty high scores.
I want it.
Giant
Yeah.
naked dudes.
I want it, but I don't have $60 to spend on a video game. But let me tell you what I did find. I picked up Homefront Revolution this week.
Oh no!
I found
Wait.
it for $10.
I was about to say, it gets better once he tells you the price, because that's what I saw when I saw him playing it. I was like, please tell me he didn't spend
$10.
$30.
I found it for $10.
Did you like rob it off some little kid on the street?
Yep. I traded him some chicken and a piece of pig for it.
That's awesome.
But no, I just happened to be wandering through because, we've talked about it before. Ryan, you do it. Matt, you do it some. So wandering through, pawn shops or,
Yeah.
around here we do have some like mom and pop game stores. And I found it on PS4 for $9.98, and I was like, huh. Okay.
Now, I think that's probably the right price.
Is
For
it the
that
right
game.
price?
Yeah, I've definitely had $10 worth of fun with it.
But would
Yeah.
you say you've had $12 worth of fun?
It's possible I've had 13 or 14 because I haven't
Oh, shit.
finished. And that's just so far. I mean, I haven't even
So you
finished
got
the
a
game
deal.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you stole it.
Exactly. And I also, I was kind of torn because after I bought that, I went to Target, and they had Alien Isolation for $10.
That's a good game for even $10. So
And I was just like, shit. If I go home with 2 games, it doesn't matter what the price was. My wife will kill me.
What if you opened the second one and put it in the case of the first one and threw out the case? So you brought
That's-
one home.
Yeah, but that's like lying and cheating, and I don't do that. I would just come and be like, hey, I bought 2 games today. They were only $10 a piece, though. It was a great deal. And then it won't matter because it's stuff I want.
Sounds like the attitude of a guy that doesn't want 2 games. You just
I don't
hide
want 2
those things.
games. I'm busy enough with one. Plus, I'm still playing Rocket League.
It's not because that Rumble mode is good. Those crates, they got me pretty hard too. Fucking
And I gotta
microtransactions.
I pulled off a No Man's Sky. I got to get back to that.
I played that once this week. That game's. It's not bothering me to take a time off and then jump back in. Like it's not.
Right.
In that game, it doesn't bother me because I'm not chasing the story right now.
And
so.
it's not super complicated to get back into.
yeah,
So
part of the fun of it is forgetting where you were and
Yeah.
kind of starting anew every time you turn it on.
I think I'm in my like a 10th or 11th system now because I'm making my way towards the middle. So just kind of making some warps, drives.
because you've upgraded everything, right?
Oh yeah, I'm maxed out. I need to do space combat. I need to explore all the stuff on 5 more planets, and I need to use my warp drive more, and then I'll have that platinum. So slowly getting there. I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit and wait for the update to hit, like a big substantial update that's not just bug fixes.
Right.
Because I don't want to finish it before they start adding some cool shit in.
Because you won't go back to it.
I don't think so. I think once I reach the center, I'm probably done forever because I got my money's worth out of that. I did what I wanted to do, and I don't see me just jumping back in recreationally.
Once you get that platinum, there's also no reason for you to continue to play, right? The
platinum and the center are the 2 things I'm thinking about.
Yeah. So if you take away the center, or if you take away the platinum, the rest of it can be, you could probably reach the center in 2 days' time, maybe even a day's time if you try real hard. So I don't know. That's one of those games that I don't think I'll ever head towards the center. And the platinum will be one of those things I never focus on because I just want the updates to hit and I want to see what kind of stuff they add to it, so that I can enjoy it as it develops. But I don't know.
Yeah, I get that attitude. That's the attitude I have for a long time. But because I've maxed everything out, like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move towards the center now that everything is maxed out because I don't know what else I can really do other than just, like you said, poke around. But a lot of the stuff is very similar.
Yeah. So the updates probably won't keep you there if you've platinumed it and hit the center.
And then I have Mafia 3 coming out I'm going to get, which I'm really looking forward to. Dragon Quest Builders looks awesome. I'm going to get that.
I'm on the fence about that one.
I would love for you to get Dragon Quest Builders. That game looks awesome.
It's not multiplayer though.
No, we could chat though.
Yeah, but it's a single-player experience with a linear story that has open-world building. I don't understand that.
It looks real good.
It looks good. It looks fun. I don't know if there's enough there to keep me there.
I will not be picking that up, FYI.
Yeah, I didn't figure.
Yeah, so I've got enough other stuff pre-ordered anyway. So
I'll be too busy with Homefront.
No, you won't.
Just
Not on October 11th. You won't.
Milking that for every penny. What's October 11th?
That's when Dragon Quest Builders comes out.
Oh,
he won't still be playing Homefront at that point.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
see, Dragon Quest,
right, but you don't know that.
Dragon Quest just comes out in the wrong time of year. If it comes out on the 11th, the next week WWE comes out. So that's gonna consume my life until Last Guardian decides to finally come out in 15 years.
Well, I mean, maybe pick up Dragon Quest and just don't even worry about Last Guardian.
Yeah, but man, you know how WWE works for me. That shit, I always say I'm not going to buy it, and then I always buy it. And
yeah, but you like play it hard for like 2 weeks, and then you like leave it alone for like 6 months, and then you play it hard again.
Yeah,
you have like a weird love-hate relationship with it.
I just get burned out sometimes, and then I fall in love with it again. It's just like wrestling on TV. I watch it real hard for about 6 months, and then when the storylines get stale, I'll let it go for a little while, and then come back and let it be something new. And this Metal Gear Solid 5 Platinum is, I'm ready to kill myself.
I talked to you during the week last week, sometime since last time we recorded.
Yeah, like Wednesday, probably.
You sounded like you might murder people when I was talking to you when you were trying to play that game.
Yeah. It's tedious. It's difficult for no reason. And the game just... I'm so torn still on this game. It's a good game that is undeserving of the Metal Gear title. But, you know.
You were super upset.
Yeah.
Suck it up, bitch, and platinum that shit.
I'm going to.
What if you just didn't platinum it?
Right.
It's not an option.
Actually, it is.
So here's the thing that I get that I start thinking about when I'm playing it is Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4 had two of the hardest platinums I've ever gotten in video games ever. Metal Gear Solid 4 is probably one of the toughest platinums there is to get. And I had more fun achieving that platinum because it's not based on like bullshittery. Like you just had to be good at the game to get those platinums. There wasn't like Metal Gear Solid 5, you go in to do this mission and you're trying to get, whatever your goal you're trying to achieve is, and every time you play it, there's some little bullshit difference to it that no matter what you do to adapt, somehow like fucks you over. Or you'll get in there and take 2 steps right off the bat and they will have randomly spawned an enemy right beside you, and something stupid like that. And it just, I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't work for me. It's a little bit too much of a bullshittery type, like goal, like check boxes. Just
you say like
I don't know. I can't
lot.
do it.
It's a shame.
You're like an 11-year-old girl.
I'm trying to find the.
Like, my pumpkin spice like latte and my like Uggs. And
I'm trying to find the right words for it so that it doesn't sound like I'm angry for no reason, but so that it
So you thought sounding unintelligent was a good option?
No, I just don't want it to seem like I'm angry at it because I'm not good at it. I want it like I'm not happy with just the way it's designed. There's something about it that just doesn't work for me. I don't know. I'll platinum it though. I have to have it on my list.
It's a shame you can't separate it from Metal Gear because it's a great game.
Yeah, it is a great game. I really, in my mind, it is a separate game from Metal Gear. It's not a Metal Gear game at all. Konami just slapped the name on there. It's an unfinished Metal Gear is what it is. It's got a 3rd chapter that's never going to be released. Apparently that's the reason why Kojima left, was he was trying to finish the final chapter to the game. They told him, well, you'll just release it with what you got. It's got the micromanagement with the base and the soldier building up Mother Base. I don't really care for that, but in the story, I understand why it's there.
I like the FOB stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense, because if you've played the rest of the Metal Gear games, that's, it's part of the story. Nothing doesn't fit the story. There's just something about it that just, if you had named it something else, it would have been just as good. It would have been probably better in my eyes if Metal Gear Solid 4 had been the last one. And Metal Gear 4 had all of these great moments where you're playing as Snake David, and like you go back to Shadow Moses, and you get to fight Metal Gear Ray, and you there's so many there's so much fan service in that game. And then you play Metal Gear 5, and it's like they forgot all of us. They're just making games for Ryan at that point. So
nothing wrong with that.
Ryan's perfectly happy with that, I promise you.
I actually applaud people for doing that, and I challenge more developers to do the same.
If they were going to continue the series if Metal Gear were going to continue beyond Metal Gear Solid 5 and elaborate on what Metal Gear Solid 5 was and keep the same tone in the boss fights and all that, then I get it, and I welcome that, but they're not. This is the last one, and it fucked it up. So...
Well, at least you're taking it well.
Yeah.
That's what's important. Tokyo Game Show happened. TGS.
It did.
Yeah.
2016.
It's still happening. Well, as of this recording, there's still some news today.
But as of this listening, it's finished.
Yeah.
Yes.
Potentially. If you listened now somehow, then I guess maybe not.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening right now.
It's true.
So for you, it's
right
not.
Now.
But for the listeners, it is.
Yeah.
It's over. Let's just do a little roundtable of what we saw, what we cared about, what we didn't care about.
Okay.
I feel like Dan when it comes to this. There wasn't a lot that I cared about.
Yeah, the listeners now obviously know that we've discussed this already.
There was a lot of announcements, a lot of stuff shown off.
But it was all stuff that either we pretty much know what we need to know about, and it was just an added bonus to see some gameplay clips or something like that, or it was things that I'm just unfortunately not really interested in.
One of the things that I was maybe most interested in, and I don't know why, because I always do this, Earth Defense Force 5. Every time I see it, every time I see an EDF game, I'm like, this might be the one. And then I'm like, nope.
And then you never play it.
For some reason,
you ever buy them?
No.
Never. Dude, it could be like Farming Simulator, because up until 2014, you were very nope on those. Just buy one.
Every time I look at that game, I'm like, I should love this. And then I watch somebody play it, I'm like, nope. But there's something in my brain that wants me to have one of those games.
Just buy one, man.
It's Starship Troopers, the video game. That's why.
I know.
I'm telling you, man, go back and listen to this podcast 100 episodes ago when I was talking about Farming Simulator 2013, and Ryan said I'd rather watch paint dry. And the very next year, you bought 2014 on the console, and it's your favorite game now.
On the goddamn console,
But still, the game is still good, right? So if you can get EDF, and it looks like a terrible game, but there's something that...
No, they are terrible games on purpose. Like
there's something that makes you want to get it, go get it, man. Just play it. Get it, Moneybags.
I can't. Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
Don't be such a girl about it. Just buy it, man.
Those shit out a couple hundred, so I might go pick it up.
I didn't realize that's how things worked in your
I didn't
world,
realize
Matt,
I had fuck
because
you
it's
money.
certainly how it works in mine.
Right. I didn't realize I had fuck you money just in my pocket.
Yeah, dude, you got to have a little part in your budget called treat yourself, and you just go buy whatever you want.
I mean, I do, but I reserve that for things that I know I want.
Right.
Sounds like you want Earth Defense Force.
I think what I want is just to go out to my mailbox and just be a copy.
I'll get you a copy of it for Christmas. How about
that?
that?
I didn't pay for, and be like, oh, shit. No, I have to have somebody to play with, so you have to get 2 copies.
Shit. How much is it?
Too much? The PS4 exclusive Neo, not PS4 Pro, but Neo.
Right.
Spell it out.
N-I-O-H.
It got a worldwide release date. That's Koei Tecmo's new game, February 9th, 2017.
Am I dumb for not even knowing that this game existed until just now?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you what you need to know. Neo stars protagonist William Adams, a man who
What a
travels
stupid name.
to Japan to become a samurai. That's all you needed to know about that.
Bill Adams. So it's the new Matt Damon movie. It's I think that's China though, with dragons. It's Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Inventor of the hover round.
Yeah, Thomas Cruise Maypother the third, I believe.
Right.
My boy from Mission Impossible. He just signed on for a new Mission Impossible movie.
He's like 64 years old.
Dude, watch those Mission Impossible movies though. They're fucking incredible. That dude can make movies forever if they're gonna be that good.
Yeah, he's nuttier than a
Jack
fruitcake, but he's good.
Yeah.
I want to see Jack Reacher, the new
Jack Reacher
movie.
2 looks so
It looks
good,
real
man.
good.
Jack Reacher 1's one of my favorite movies of all time.
When he tells that guy
Oh,
about the phone ringing though and the handcuffs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, there's
Oh yeah,
Jack Reacher does not even compare to John Wick.
it's true. But you gotta remember John Wick, that puppy.
Yeah. John Wick 2 is going to be
I
incredible.
would have done the same.
I would like to see a mashup film where Jack Reacher and John Wick get together and they
And team
you know,
up.
Yeah, like a team up.
Reacher
Sounds
versus Wick, Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Sounds like what is it? Expand. What the hell is those movies?
Yeah, I don't know.
Expanding
Expendables?
universe.
Expendables?
Sounds like Expendables 6.
Sounds fun, dude. Yeah, you don't put you just bring Jack Reacher and John Wick into the Expendables.
Yeah, you don't
Chuck
take away
Norris.
anybody. You just add
Chuck
to it.
Norris. You gotta have
But
Chuck
you add
Norris.
those characters. You're not adding like the person. You just add the characters in.
It's all a cohesive universe, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's canon.
God, I'm gonna watch John Wick probably today. What a good movie.
What if John Wick 2 opens up and he's got a cat and you're like, no, not again?
Oh, dude,
It's-
I can't. If it's a
No,
cat,
it's-
I'm gonna be done. He got
Dog's
that
worse.
dog at the end of it though.
Well, a cat would be bad, but it's a dog thing. It's more dogs.
I feel you on that comment, Dan. If
You
it
hate
had
your
been a cat, he'd have been like, you guys are bastards. And then he would have
You
moved
killed
on.
my cat. He would
Right.
not have gone on that rampage.
Hey, John, you working again?
No.
One of my favorite lines that whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, working again? God, the movie's so good.
It's a
I didn't think
great
I was going to
movie.
like that movie, and I love that movie.
I expected to be like, oh yeah, it was an okay action flick, you know. I didn't expect to fall in love with it and buy the Blu-ray and like I want John Wick T-shirts. I bought the gun that he uses. Like I love that movie.
It's awesome. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
How do we get back on it? What the fuck happened?
'Cause
Yeah.
John
We were
Wick the
talking
game.
about TGS and now we're talking about John Wick.
Well, Neo got us here.
Yeah,
'Cause
John
John-
Wick the game would be.
John Wick was much more exciting than this year's TGS. That's why.
You remember Wanted the game? That didn't work out.
Yeah,
Nope.
Wanted the movie didn't work out so well.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It introduced James McAvoy to the world, pretty much, though. Without a bunch of makeup where he looks like a goat.
Also, you could bend bullets.
Yeah.
So,
You could bend bullets.
That graphic novel's real fucking good, but that movie not so much.
Yeah, I
not even
understand, like, for a
close.
mainstream audience, why they made the change they made,
Yeah.
but not cool.
Yeah.
so Matt, what did you see at TGS that got the whistle wet?
Yeah, so I guess I'm a little bit different from you guys. There were some things that I gave a shit about. At the top of the list was Kojima came out to talk about Death Stranding. No footage, nothing like that. He just came out and did some chatting with the audience about what the game is going to be, what his direction is for it. So we know it's going to be an action game. We know it's going to be a semi-open world, kind of like Metal Gear Solid 5. We know that it's, still going to have Norman Reedus. He kind of explained what Death Stranding means to him. And then he gave some really cool infographics with these little, like, chibi-style drawings. So he had Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro and himself up there. And he alluded to the fact that the game will most likely be co-op or maybe has drop-in, drop-out co-op. There's a lot of speculation about that. But as of this recording, tonight he's doing a presentation on the Sony side of TGS. He's going to actually go up on the Sony stage and talk a little bit more about the game and hopefully show some stuff off. So as of everybody listening to this, there may be more news with Death Stranding than just this. We had the big announcement this week that Last Guardian got pushed back, but at TGS we got 15 minutes of gameplay. It is exactly what I expected, and I'm still just as fascinated by it and still want to play it just as much as ever. It looks like a PS3 game or even a PS2 game. I don't think it looks spectacular, but it draws me back into that Eco Shadow of the Colossus world, and I want to spend time there. I love those games.
What I'm curious about with The Last Guardian, though, is I understand what you're saying about loving, Eco and Colossus and wanting to be in that universe again, but do you really?
Yeah, 100%. So I know. I guess I get what you're asking. Like, is the memory of it better than actually going back to it?
Yeah.
So part of it's nostalgia. Like, part of it is.
Right, but how many people are going to buy this game because they want to be in that world again, play 7 minutes, and be like, "What the fuck was I thinking? This
not that many.
This was not fun anymore."
Because I imagine that the generation of gamers who had that as they were growing up have either left gaming altogether or are not interested in that anymore because gaming has changed so much. I think that the people who want to play that, it's few and far between, right? It's probably a little bit more of the indie gamers and a couple of stragglers who played the other two. I don't think that there's a huge fan base for it anymore, and they're definitely not going to pick up anybody new. You're not going to have people who are new to the Eco universe come in and grab this game.
The thing is what that game was trying to do, or was going to do 11 years ago, has, at this point, within that past 11 years, been done. It's the only reason you're buying that game is to play a game from those developers in that style universe again. That's it.
Yeah. I want to see how Last Guardian ties Eco and Shadow of the Colossus together, or if it's if it happens afterwards, after the events of those games. I just want to get that pseudo story that you always get, that idea of that kind of journey thing where you have to interpret the story on your own. There's no definite.
Don't lie, you just want to ride on Falcor.
I like that style of game. I really want to play this game. I think I've gone past the point of feeling like I deserve to be able to play the game. That like entitled thing of this game better come out because I need to play it. I've gotten to the point of it's akin to being able to throw the other two games into the PS4 and play them again, and I can go grab the Eco Shadow of the Colossus collection on PS3, play through those, and then play Last Guardian with them. I don't know, just something about them. Same reason why when Uncharted 4 came out, people wanted to play the original 3. There's something about that universe. Now, of course, this isn't as graphically intense or super. It's not a superstar game like Uncharted 4 was, but I think for its audience and for the people that are interested, it's still worth playing.
I mean,
but I think time's running out. I think you push it back another year, I think nobody gives a fucking shit about it.
This is a game that I've definitely been on the roller coaster with. I mean, obviously when it was first announced, I was all in, pre-ordered it, blah, blah, blah. 10 years later, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, those games.
That's where I'm at.
Those games didn't control very well. I worry about that now because now we expect so much more when it comes to just how smooth something is and how it controls and how it feels. And those games felt rigid. This game looks like it feels rigid by the way he moves.
Yeah, that's part of those games, though. Part of the way that you move is what made those games. That thing of you're not really in precise control of the character. You're influencing what direction they go more than you are moving them. Like, that's how I felt about it.
I don't know if it's as much of an art piece as you made that seem, though.
Right. I was just going to say, I feel like you're... No, I think it was just what the developers' limitations were at that point. I'm not sure that it was an artistic choice.
See, I agree with that, but not now. They could fix it now. But now it wouldn't be cohesive if they did. But for me, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to buy the game, I'm going to play the game. I expect a 6-hour game that I come out and I feel okay about and I don't feel great about. I mean, that's what I'm expected. So anything better is awesome. Anything less, I'm really not going to be shocked either.
Right.
I think this game's going to get 6s and 7s from reviewers. I don't think it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to... same thing for Final Fantasy 15. You can't survive a development cycle like this.
Nope.
there is no way to come out on top because their expectations and the disappointment they're already there. You can't survive that kind of.
You're already
cycle.
let down that you have that this game's taking this long, so you're immediately going to be looking for more problems.
Yeah, I just don't care already. It's not even out, and I don't care.
Right. I get that. I completely understand.
Still one of those things I'm interested in for the show. They're just taking a very long time. So I think the interest from other people is dwindling the longer it takes. 11 years after the fact now.
Right. And we're not really the only ones that seem to have an opinion on this.
That's true. Our friend Baraxis Games, on Twitter, Elliot wrote into the show. And he says, at game_Stitch, it's embarrassing how long it's taking for The Last Guardian to be done. Did they forget how to make games?
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly, if you're into video games, you understand this has been pushed again now till December. I don't think they forgot how to make games now. If they forgot, it was 9 years ago.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody disagrees with the sentiment of, hey, this is taking too fucking long.
Very unfortunate.
Anymore.
Yeah.
They don't, but I also understand that when this game comes out, in order for it to do anything, it has to be perfect. It can not have even the most minor flaw is going to be a death knell for it.
Yeah, and they were really clear, too. This game is super buggy, and they have to fix it.
Yeah.
If they didn't try to hide it, that's what they said. The game has got a lot more bugs than they were thinking, and it's got to be fixed.
I think this game is going to come across more as how Eco was. It was a independent game. It's gonna be one of those games that feels like an indie title that's gonna get a full $60 release. I don't think it's gonna be one of those games where we look back on and go, man, that was well worth the $120 collector's edition or the $60 full price game. That should have been a $19.99 release on PSN.
How is it not polished after 10 years though? How are there bugs?
I don't know. I'm not making the game.
How can there be bugs still?
I think because the development team and the director of the game do want it to be more of an art piece than a video game, and I think that in trying to overthink it and overcomplicate it, they've shot themselves in the foot. It's not necessarily the worst thing; it just is how it happened, So the other two things that I saw at TGS that I really liked, Resident Evil 7, the Biohazard 7. Trailer that they showed, which is kind of just an extra teaser as to the story. You get a little bit more idea of what's going on in this house that you played in the beginning hour demo on PS4. But more interesting than that is that they did an update to the beginning hour Resident Evil 7 demo that you already have. So they patched that to include more content. It's the Twilight something or another. But if you go back and play that, there's more to discover in that house, which I think is really cool. And I think if you're trying to reboot a series the way that they are and trying to make it something different, it's a great way to get fans on board with the atmosphere and with the kind of what's going on in the story. If you're trying to teach them something new, so you got to make them interested in what's new and make them forget about what Resident Evil used to be. And I think they're doing a good job with that.
Are you getting excited about Resident Evil?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you pick up the last few?
No, the last Resident Evil that I bought and played was Resident Evil 5. And 4 and 5 were games that I did not enjoy. So when 6 came out, I played someone else's copy just long enough to realize that I hated it. And then stopped. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 are highlights in the PlayStation 1 catalog for where survival horror started and where it kind of got out of hand by the time you got to RE3. I think 4, 5, and 6 are great games, but they're not Resident Evil games, if that makes sense. They lose some of the atmosphere and the energy of the first games, not necessarily in that they feel more like spiritual successors than they feel like games in the timeline to me.
But you feel like they're getting back to their roots on this.
Yeah, I think Evil Within was a really good nod towards like where Resident Evil was at the time, but where it could go as far as horror is. And then when you take a look at games like Outlast, and you take a look at games like Amnesia, things like that have happened over the past 10 years, if Resident Evil can take their cues from that and a little bit of what Evil Within had brought to the table, I think they're going to get back on track to the horror side. You know, that's why you played Resident Evil, was to be scared, not because it's fun to shoot zombies, but it's fun to be scared. And I think they're going to get back to that.
I think they're obviously pulling from PT too, because the reception to PT was huge.
Yeah, you know, but PT was a copy of Outlast, so.
But I think that showed people on there's a huge interest in that. You know, that game got huge acclaim from everybody, and the, you know, not holding your hand and being confused, and everybody having to like get together and talk it out.
Yeah, but that being scared, turning the lights off and like turning the volume up and just being frightened by a game, that's what it's all about. And then I guess for me, the last thing that I want to talk about that's going to piss me off just talking about it is they had 15 minutes of, or maybe a little bit more of Metal Gear Survive gameplay. This goes back to what I was saying about Metal Gear 5 earlier, that it doesn't deserve the name, but the game looks fun. It looks like if you took Metal Gear Online and you made it a full co-op experience instead of a deathmatch experience, and you put crafting and base building and all that into it with zombies. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. To me, it looks like it should have been an add-on pack for Metal Gear Online versus its own standalone title to come out. And I think if I can keep my head wrapped around the idea that it is a expansion to the multiplayer and it's definitely not an installment to the series, then I'll be okay with it. I may even buy it.
It's not a full price game either.
Yeah, I'm gonna imagine $39.99 on it.
Yeah, I think it's 40 or 50 or something like that. They've said, but it's not a full price game, so maybe that makes the pill a little easier to swallow.
Yeah, it just, you know, it's clearly not. It's like Metal Gear Rising was, right? It's got the Metal Gear, but if you don't put Solid on there, it's not in the continuity of the series, so it just makes it something else. And this is one of those games that they just take the licensing and do something else with it. The gameplay looks like they just took all the assets from 5, put a big fog on it, and played the game. It doesn't look spectacular. It doesn't look like they've added anything new at all, other than the crafting and base building, and they have like a new injury system and stuff like that. But otherwise, it looks like Metal Gear Online. So I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm definitely cautiously optimistic about what it is going to turn out to be.
Did you see the trailer for Happy Manager?
No.
Dan, did you happen to see that?
I don't think so.
I'm going to watch it real fast.
I have no fucking clue what it is.
Isn't it where you like run a fast food restaurant or something? Or an office or something? Be the manager and you have to keep everybody happy?
No, it looks like...
I think I've heard about it.
It looks like you run a hotel or an apartment that is only occupied by 18 to 19-year-old Japanese girls who don't wear a lot of clothes.
Oh, this looks awesome. It's like...
of course it does, Matt. It's freako panel van driver.
No, damn it, man. It's like one of those games like Catherine or How to Fool Boyfriend. Like, you grab those games that are weird because they're so just Japanese that you don't understand them, but they turn out to be fun. Like Tokyo Jungle was one of those games, you know?
Happy Manager looks fucking strange. I have no idea what you do.
I guess you gotta keep...
This looks great. This looks great.
Do you see the pool yet? Or it just says FPS?
Perv.
No.
You're a perv.
I don't know. That could be a game that I'm interested in. I like bullshit.
Yeah, this is great.
Check it out real quick.
The Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 launch trailer. Did you guys play DX?
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
This is a great game.
Did you play 256?
On my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, those are fantastic games.
I'm hearing some mixed things about this new one. I want to pick it up to see, but they've changed some things I think they didn't need to change. So, Dan, did you have anything from TGS you cared about?
Nothing that you guys haven't talked about already. There's no need for me to expound.
What'd you guys think of the Horizon footage that they showed?
I purposely stayed away from it. I'm good. I'm 100% sold on that game. I know it's going to be great. I'm done with it.
I'm not 100% sold on that game, but I liked that trailer a lot more than what I've seen so far. You know what is... This is going to sound stupid. What I liked about that trailer more than anything else is that they all spoke Japanese, and to me it made more sense. It didn't seem like this Americanized piece of bullshit story that we always get with stuff. It made it look more like an RPG, like a JRPG action game. And I was more interested in it for that than I was for a Uncharted Tomb Raider in the future.
That game's going to be good.
I don't believe in it.
That game is going to be so good. That's our TGS 2016 coverage. When I say our, I mean Matt.
Not an amazing show in my opinion.
There's a lot going on there. There was a lot more going on than a lot of the other shows, you know.
But nothing really. I think the thing is that there wasn't a whole lot new.
It felt like a lot of side dishes.
Stuff that we had an idea of.
Yeah,
a lot of side dishes. I want some meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't need new game launch trailers and console launch trailers and stuff like that all the time. I kind of like
gameplay,
this slow, the slow burn up to the game release. I like.
Also, with TGS, you have to constantly remind yourself that you won't see 75% of the things that are there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's another reason TGS doesn't excite me. Like, they showed off new Vita colors, and that's great, but they'll never come here. Why would they? No one buys them here. The Vita's pretty much done here. They showed off a lot of Vita games that probably won't come here. And then they showed off games like Happy Manager, which will obviously never come here.
I have to get my hands on that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Amazon sells
no pun intended,
imported games now, so you can put those filthy paws on it from Amazon. Let's jump into some headlines real quick, shall we?
Yeah.
4.0 PlayStation update launch. Not like.
Sorry, I'm sick.
Yeah, you ruined that topic for all the listeners.
You got the black lung from cooking all that chicken and pig.
Right.
It's not the black lung.
You could cover your mouth with your shirt, but you're not wearing one.
I covered my mouth with my hand.
And then lean into the microphone.
Just like I'm doing right now.
Lean into the microphone and hack.
No, I leaned away from the microphone.
While I was trying to tell everybody how much I enjoyed the 4.0 update for the PlayStation 4.
You still can.
They added folders. They had the quick menu now for when you hold down the PlayStation button, which is probably my favorite feature.
Mm-hmm.
I got party chat over there, and I've got my power options. I got my friends list. I got everything I need in that little quick menu that now only takes up half the screen. And they added the HDR support for all the PS4s. So pretty substantial update. Pretty happy with it. All the notifications pop up in a white box now instead of a black box.
I like the white box.
I don't know.
It's very streamlined. It's very streamlined and futuristic, I think.
Folders, I'm not 100% sold on. This is going to sound shitty, right? We've been complaining about folders, and we need folders, and folders will keep us organized. I want to be able to put games in 2 different folders, but you can't. Games can only go in 1 folder. If you try to categorize it in 2 different places, it only puts it in 1 folder.
Well, Matt, that's how real life works. If you have one game, you can't file it in 2 places.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I don't want to file it. I want to use the folders as a way to, like, quick call things out of the library, I guess. So I want to have, like, horror games listed, but I would also like to have... So I've got, Resident Evil Beginning Hour and PT and Evil Within and all that stuff, but I would also like to have a folder that just has alphas and betas in it and demos. So I would like RE7 and PT to also be over there. So that I don't have to go, I'd like to... let me jump into this type of game and then forget that, maybe I have Journey classified as an indie title and not an adventure title. Like, I would like to be able to find it in multiple places based on how I would like to.
Can't make you happy, Matt. No matter what, you're just never happy.
You want tags, not folders.
Yes, I want tags
that you can filter by tag.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, well, shoot Shuhei an email.
Yeah.
It's taken them roughly 4 years to get this going.
Yo, shoo.
So there's a chance that 2022, this could be a reasonable.
Right.
That could
better on time for the.
They might implement it into the PS6.
Yeah. Or the PS4 Pro Plus.
Yes, the PS4, the PlayStation Bocephus.
Is that the code name for the next one? The Bocephus? I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Seems very Western.
That's what I'm going with. Bocephus. I like it.
Codename Bo. Cephas.
Heard it here first. Breaking.
What?
That's breaking news. Heard it here first.
It's not true, though. It's
Project Bocephus.
a breaking rumor.
That's right, exactly. Heard it here first. You heard that rumor here first.
I want you to name two things that you love more than anything.
Metal Gear Solid and rare steak.
You nailed it. VR and tacos. They're together at the only place on earth that you should be buying tacos. Taco Bell. Scoop yourself up a big box, and every 15 minutes they're giving away a PlayStation VR bundle, the one that comes with VR Worlds. I participated and lost. But there's something about that every 15 minutes that fucking gets me going. Because every time I drive by it, I think, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, what if
Every
this is
15
my
minutes? Yeah, that's...
What if this is my 15? And
you also eat a lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah, well, that's why it's a two-part. And you can only play once a day, so all those fuckers that lose at the beginning take themselves out of the running. So I like to wait late at night before I enter my code. I have a whole strategy. It's not paid off yet. But yeah, I'm into it, and I like the strong partnership with Taco Bell and PlayStation. It's like the fourth thing they've done together.
Yeah.
And they're two of my favorites.
PS4 release as well, too, right?
Yeah,
Gold PS4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're like two of my favorite things smashing together, though, and I like it.
They did that Uncharted thing that I won that Ryan didn't.
Yeah, God damn it. And then Matt's he's a good friend, so he charged me for it.
Yeah, they did the Uncharted giveaway back when Uncharted 3 came out.
Was that Taco Bell or Subway?
Oh, that was Subway,
That was Subway.
Yeah, Subway.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, I remember this.
That was not a partnership, mate. I didn't win because I fucking hate Subway.
Yeah, I went there every day and won like a care package with some memorabilia in it, and then sold it to Ryan at a premium price.
You're like a real fucking friend.
Any price is like not.
It was like $20.
Nice.
$20 and a Metal Gear Solid 3 bandana that you didn't deliver.
I never promised a bandana.
Yeah, you did.
In your head, I did. I don't even have a Metal Gear Solid bandana.
Whatever, man.
There's no way I could offer one. I gave you a copy of Metal Gear Solid 4 from Japan.
Yep.
Yes.
Still have that. So now I've got an Australian, Japan, Korean, and U.S.
My Metal Gear collection is only Metal Gear Solid 5 Collector's Edition and then the Big Boss PSP that never opened.
Got one of those too. I opened mine up though.
Yeah, mine's never been tainted. Still brand new. Yeah, I would.
How much?
I'd have to do some digging. I totally would let that go though at this point. I gotta thin the herd a little bit.
Well, let me know what you give that up for.
I also have a Mario Kart Wii, never opened.
Not interested.
I've got 4 DSs that have never been opened.
No.
I have a GameCube that's never been opened with the Game Boy player that's never been opened.
Is it the Twin Snakes edition?
It's the silver one.
Not
I wouldn't let that go though.
The Twin Snakes edition is silver.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the regular silver one.
Not interested.
I don't have the Twin Snakes one. I have the Pokemon XD one.
Not interested.
Looks really good. It's got some Pokemon on top.
Pass.
I got the Pikachu in Nintendo 64.
That's pretty cool, but pass.
I played, oddly enough, I played some GameCube yesterday.
Really?
Great system.
I played Animal Crossing.
Brilliant system.
Yeah.
I think the GameCube's one of the greatest things Nintendo's ever done.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Did either of you play Battlefield 1's beta?
No.
Nope.
Well, 13.2 million other people did. It was the biggest EA beta of all time. It beat Battlefront, which drew in 9 million. So it didn't just beat it; it pretty handily spanked it.
Yeah, I was too busy playing the For Honor Alpha and not coming away happy as I thought I would.
Those are different weeks.
Oh, we're talking about last week versus this week?
It was the week before that.
The week before was Battlefield.
Oh, I definitely didn't play that because the Overwatch free weekend was during the Battlefield one.
Nope, week before.
What the fuck?
Battlefield, Overwatch.
When did this happen?
For Honor. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I didn't play it.
This is old news,
I did try the Overwatch.
It's not old news. The data just came out on how many people played it.
Old news.
And then before that was Titanfall.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it went Titanfall, Battlefield,
Overwatch,
For Honor.
Titanfield bombed pretty hard.
Titanfield.
Titanfield. This is a new game.
Titanfall 2
Sounds
bombed pretty
awesome.
hard.
Are you saying Titanfall cross Battlefield? That's a thing
Yeah.
that you can confirm?
Yeah.
Along with the
Titan-
PS4 Bocephus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exclusive to the Bocephus, actually.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be a launch title. It's going to be packaged in with
Launch
an extra
title.
controller also.
It's a match 3 tile sliding game.
Yeah.
Where you actually, up top, in first person, they fight depending on how your matches go.
Right.
I might have just had a breakthrough in ideas. You can't steal it because I just emailed it to myself.
A la Puzzle Fighter.
Yeah. No, but it's better because it's FPS.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everything's better when it's FPS. This last story is what I put on here exclusively for Matt.
Right.
We're not getting a mainline Assassin's Creed game this year, but luckily, we're getting the Ezio collection for PS4.
What the fuck?
So you're getting Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations with enhanced graphics. You also get the $8 movie voucher for Michael Fassbender's Assassin's Creed movie.
You know what you could do is just not buy this and just pay for a ticket and save yourself $39, which I'm sure it will cost.
If you've never played this, if you never played these games, you buy this.
They're good.
Just for
All of these games came out individually on PS3, and then they decided to do this exact bundle on PS3, and now they're going to release it again on PS4. How fucking stupid.
If you've never played it, you pick this up for Assassin's Creed 2 alone. Assassin's Creed 2 is the most perfect video game ever made.
It's also an easy plat.
It's not an easy plat, but it's an interesting plat.
It's an easy plat, let's be real.
The feathers
It's
are
not
a pain
super
in the ass,
easy.
but you can platinum the game without beating it 100%.
It's an easy platinum, too.
Fucking stupid.
I don't know, that having to block 10 people, you had a hell of a time with that. Don't act like that was easy for you.
It's because I don't block. That's on me, not on the game.
Right. I'd
Fuck
love to
blocking.
see you play For Honor for about 5 minutes.
No, he would hate it. I don't want to see that.
He would die immediately.
He
Anything,
would just stop playing.
anything where you have to, where I can't just go in, fucking guns blazing, I don't really care for it.
All right.
I want no combat, or I'm the most baddest ass in the whole world. That's
The most baddest ass.
most baddest ass
Most baddest
in the
ass.
whole world. Those are the only 2 speeds I have. It's no combat or all combat. Fuck stealth, fuck strategy. Let me shoot somebody in the face, or let me sneak. Let me just not be in
I
any
do
kind
like
of combat.
like shooting folks in the face. I'm not gonna lie about that.
I don't mind destroying a face if that's what you're asking.
Destruction.
Anybody gonna see the movie? Anybody gonna see the Creed movie?
No. I've seen the preview, and that's enough for me.
I will watch it when it comes to like Netflix or cable or on demand, something like that.
Cable, Jesus Christ, 7 years from now.
Right.
Nah, it'll be on Netflix the week after the movie hits.
He said cable though, like he was gonna jump over to TNT and watch it after The Last Ship.
No, I meant like when it premieres on HBO, you jackass.
Does that show still come on Last Ship?
Yeah, it does.
It's time for mailbag, where we go arm deep in our mailbag and we pull out some reader
You've never
comments.
said this before, ever.
I don't know why I said it now either. I can't stop thinking about The Last Ship because I don't even know what it's about.
You've never said that ever in 4 years.
We've never gone arm deep before either, in fairness.
Oh, God.
So last week we asked you a question. 2 weeks ago we asked you a question about the PS4 Pro. We had a short week last week, so we said on the podcast we're going to keep it going. I want to read a couple of those answers. Let's see. We've got Garrett Wade at Enjoy My Teabag. Xbox One S over the Pro. I think that's reasonable if you're trying to decide between the two.
I think that's a great answer because it's short and sweet.
Yeah, if you're trying to decide
6
between the
words
two, I get it. And then we had Greg Shores over on Facebook. I will be picking up for the same reason I got a second Xbox One, an S version, due to wanting a second console and having 4K TV with HDR. So really wanting to see how well the PS4 Pro looks, because the Xbox One is a huge graphic improvement over the standard one. I also understand that. I mean, that's where I'm at.
I mean,
That's both sides of the coin right there.
Yep.
Right.
That's just to cover my side too. That's totally how I feel. I mean, that's why I'm picking one up, is because I want a second one, and I want to see how it looks because I'm getting a new TV and everything.
Yeah, I think that's the most reasonable thing that we've ever agreed on this show ever, is that if you're getting a new TV, go ahead and get the new system to match it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have one more comment.
Okay.
From Thomas Barfield, also over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Gamestitch.
I don't know that, right? If you search Gamestitch on Facebook, we're the only one that pops up.
Yeah, I think it's The Gamestitch, though, because we're that hardcore important.
Yeah.
What song would be your battle song while playing a multiplayer game like Call of Duty? Why don't you go first, Matt?
So I'm going to attack this two ways. Playing a first-person shooter where I like to be kind of in the zone and aggressive, I usually put on an album for stuff like that. Racing games kind of are in the same vein, but for a first-person shooter specifically, I will usually throw on anything by the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza, Danza 2, Danza 3, Danza 4. All those albums are really good. There's a track called Go Greyhound that is where my PSN name comes from that I think is fantastic. It gets me fucking pumped to throw grenades and shoot people in the face. For racing games, I like stuff a little bit more kind of light and just stuff that I can hear but I don't really focus on. It doesn't really have to change my attitude. So I like future bass kind of stuff. I like Chain Gang of 1979. I like I don't know, Sting, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Like really, like just a mix of stuff works really well for stuff like that. Like the soundtrack to Ghostbusters 2 is great to throw on for stuff like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like aggressive to get you pumped, but I think having music on while you play is fun.
For some reason, when you started to say soundtrack, I thought you were going to say Soundgarden.
No, not at all.
And I thought that was the odd choice to play to.
Like for wrestling games, my entrance theme is always the Bobby Brown track from Ghostbusters 2. The Bobby Brown New Edition song. Yeah, dude, I think that's a great song. Gets me pumped to play wrestling.
He probably appreciates that too.
Yeah. I think. What
about you,
dead.
Dan? Yeah, is his state still making money?
Mine is a little different than. I don't play very many FPS competitive multiplayer, but if I do throw music on for myself, when I'm playing multiplayer, say, I like a slow, droning, thumping drum beat to kind of, it just mellows me. So it keeps me kind of chilled out. And I also like a very, not stale, but a very simple bass line. So what I usually do is I throw on some Joy Division. Specifically, if I'm looking for an extended period of time, I'll throw on the Unknown Pleasures album. Just because it's got that very droning drum beat. And the just the simplicity of it takes away from. It kind of helps. It's the other side of the coin of the chaos that is happening on screen.
Yeah.
And then I've got just the simplicity and the basic sounds that make complex music on the other side.
Yeah.
And it kind of meets in the middle to where it helps me to maintain both sides of those in order to perform like some sort of person who might know what they're doing in that situation.
It's nice and catchy too, so you can really like not focus on it and still focus on it and like get in
and still know it's there.
Yeah, you can like get into like a rhythm with Joy Division. Yeah, for sure.
A very heavy snare.
Yeah, for sure
is what really does it. So that's me. How about you, Ryan?
I'm not a big music guy. I'd probably have to say like Journey Greatest Hits.
Good choice, man.
With an honorable mention to Africa by Toto.
Yeah.
Because I love that song. That's my favorite Grand Theft Auto song, I think.
The rain's down and
Just busting ass around a turn, like drifting through while that song is just blazing.
The soundtrack to Tron, the original Tron, is great for anything with Journey and all that stuff on it.
Yeah.
The
Great
Daft Punk
question.
Tron is alright too. So.
Great question. We actually like this question so much that this is going to be next week's question for you.
Except for I thought, Matt, or Ryan, I thought you were going to say some Carrie Underwood.
I hate Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Almost more than I hate anybody. She's like my least favorite artist.
Really?
Yeah, I hate her.
You just look like a guy who would be like all about Carrie Underwood.
No, I love country music, but I hate Carrie Underwood. I will change every song that comes on by her almost immediately.
What is it about her?
I don't know. I think she's a real bitch in life.
Don't nothing to base this on, but it's what I think.
Yeah,
She's just a real bitch.
I feel like we might have had this discussion before. Actually.
Probably. I hate her.
I think about it.
I'm not shocked.
I don't know if it was
I
on
met
here
her,
or
I'd be
not,
like, hey, I don't like you.
Wow.
Fucking bitch.
She's probably she like might be my least favorite artist of like any that you could find.
She's probably like super nice. So you think it's all fake?
I think she's just a bitch 24/7. I don't think she pretends not to be. I see her,
but she appears to be nice. Like,
no, I see her at things, and I'm like, you bitch.
But that's you. That's not necessarily her.
If you ever saw her on the streets in Nashville, and you just shout like, "Bitch!" from across the street.
No. But if I ever met her and she's like, "Hey, what do you think of me?" and I'm like, "Well, I think you're kind of a bitch. It's nice to meet you."
You get right within earshot of her and talk to somebody else. You go, "That Carrie Underwood's a real bitch."
But I like her husband a lot. Oh, Mike Fisher. I'm a fan of his.
Oh, Mike Fisher?
Yeah.
Because you're a hockey fan?
Yeah. But I don't like her at all.
So you like Mike Underwood, but not Carrie so much.
Wow. That's a deep cut for Mike. Yeah, I don't know what it is about her. It's just something about her specifically, though, that I do not care for.
I get that.
Like, she pisses me off on football. I have to see her singing.
Yeah, that does piss me off so much. It doesn't make any sense.
I just don't care for her.
So what about Miranda Lambert?
No thanks.
I dislike her less. A lot less.
I like Miranda Lambert.
But there's just something that just gets me going about Carrie. I get angry.
Yeah, I think Miranda Lambert brings a little bit more old school country to a little more honky tonk to it.
I like Blake a lot though. So after all that went down, not big of a Miranda fan.
Oh no, I take Miranda's side over his because I don't care.
Is this The View? What the fuck are we doing right now?
This is real talk.
This video game podcast turned into a Nashville fucking, what do you call it?
Nashville,
like gossip
FMZ or
show.
TMZ.
Yeah, we're just gossiping.
Welcome to Country Music Chat.
Right. I like Hootie. Hootie's the only person I care about.
I think you mean Darius Rucker.
Hootie. He's always going to be Hootie to me.
Hoodius?
Hoodius Rucker.
Hoodius Maximus.
He's real good.
Yeah.
And he does the feel good country though, which is strange because he didn't do feel good.
He did depressing like 90s drug rock.
Yeah, like sad 90s music, and then he switched over to country.
Dolphins make him cry.
He's just a wagon wheels now. Like he's all good to go. Man, Let Her Cry. That's a good one to play some games too. Also,
my God, that song makes me weep.
With a needle hanging out of your arm.
Yeah.
But Only Want to Be With You.
Yeah,
that's a good jam. That's a good jam.
You know how many mixtapes that Hootie appeared on? Like when you got your heart broke.
Yeah.
No.
Just listen to it, okay? You don't have to say nothing. Just listen to it.
No, I was like 20 years old, so I wasn't doing mixtapes no more.
Just listen to it. It's pretty much how I feel about you. It's just a bunch of Hootie tracks.
Don't rewind. Don't fast forward. You just got to listen to it.
We made ours on CDs. I do remember
mixtapes, though. Huh?
We made ours on CDs. We weren't fast forwarding.
Oh no, I had real mixtapes.
You had legit mixtapes. Yeah, we were making them on.
You had like The Cure and stuff for yours. We had some bullshit.
We did have some bullshit.
You had real breakup songs. We had some bullshit. We had Hootie.
Hootie's real sad music, man.
Dude, there's nothing like Robert Smith and The Cure. If you just got dumped, like throw that on and see if you don't slit your wrist today.
You remember recording off the radio where you had to like time it up?
Yep. And you did whatever you could to not get words.
Sounded like dog shit though.
Yeah.
You would rock out to
toast, dude.
Yeah. I remember taping shows on VHS too. That's a big pain in the ass.
I remember that too.
Then you had to make sure you snap that tab off or somebody was going to fucking record over your shit.
Me is who's going to record over it.
That was a costly endeavor to have enough VCRs to record from a VCR to a VCR. Did you ever do that? You go like
No,
go down.
I didn't grow up in a gated community.
You go down to Pops and you're like, man, that screams real good. I'm gonna keep it for myself, but I'm not paying these late fees. So you go grab every VCR you got and you just run a string of videotapes through it.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's what we used to do.
Sounds dumb, kind of.
Thanks for their participation. Thanks for everybody that wrote in. Remember, you can hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch or on Facebook or through email podcast@gamestitch.com. However you want to get a hold of us. Keep participating.
Yeah.
Remember Marcus with a PSP? Remember that little kid?
Yeah.
The advertising when Kevin Butler was a thing?
Man, Kevin Butler. They never should have got rid of him.
Wasn't that little kid's name Marcus?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, PSP, fool, or whatever he used to say.
Yeah.
I don't remember that commercial.
Sony used to have some good marketing.
There was a time.
Yeah, Kevin Butler was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Butler, you loved.
They got rid of him for some
that.
dumbass reasons.
Bridgestone picked him up. It's fine. He's the same character over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see Bridgestone the way you see PlayStation.
Right, I don't care about tires. At all.
I do. I love me some tires.
Did you eat your rocks off just rolling tires around the driveway?
Boom. You know it. I like to lay right in them.
You lay inside of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's good for posture. Do you spin down a hill? Does someone throw you down the hill?
No, I would never do that. That is ridiculous and stupid and a good way to kill yourself.
What is that, Grown Ups 2?
Yeah.
Where that happens?
You're the only person I know that saw that movie, so.
That's not true. Dan saw it too.
I did see it.
You guys should be embarrassed.
It happened to be on cable one day, so.
Dude, I'll straight up. I'll watch the Sandler movie. I don't care. I'll watch that Netflix exclusive one too.
Is that one good?
Ridiculous 6? Or
No, not that. The other shitty one where he.
The one with David Spade.
The Getaway or the grown-up guys or whatever the fuck it is. The do-over.
The do-over. Watch the do-over.
On that.
That looks so stupid. You know what though? I liked Pixels.
Said nobody ever.
Pixels was just a stupid fun movie.
It was stupid. I didn't hate it as much as everybody else did, but I didn't love it. I wouldn't say
I didn't
it was
love
good.
it, but I thought it was fun. It was what I wanted for that 90 minutes.
The do-over is as good as that.
I doubt that.
It is. That's our mailbag. Thanks, guys. Now it's time for our newest segment, my favorite segment, Gone But Not Forgotten, where we reach back in our gaming past, dust off an old classic, and regurgitate it right on your mouth.
Yeah.
Not in your mouth, but onto your mouth. This week it's Matt's turn.
You're the first. My game this week is I don't know how to preface this. So we've been playing the For Honor closed alpha, and it's really strategic in the way that you have to fight. So you fight like hand to hand with swords and stuff like that, and you have to block high, block side, left or right, and there's all this weird strategy to it. So it got me thinking of this other game that I used to play that had the same amount of strategy, called Bushido Blade. I don't know if you guys ever played this, but Bushido Blade was a PS1 game where you chose your character and then you chose your weapon. And if you're playing against a buddy, they did the same thing. And then it puts you in this open arena where you can run around, and you have to pick your fighting stance, which is high, middle, or low. You can change it at any time, and depending on where you have your weapon positioned, depends on which angle you block and what attacks are available to you, which added this whole like unnecessary level of strategy to fighting. But probably the coolest part about Bushido Blade was one well-timed strike could end the match entirely. So you could swipe at somebody's legs and cut their legs out from under them, and they couldn't walk anymore. You could hit their arm, and if they had a two-handed weapon, they could only hold it with one hand, basically making it too slow for them or too heavy for them to swing. But you could also, if let's say they had a sword and they raised it up over their head, and you kind of lunged forward with your sword straight out, you could just hit them right in the face or the neck or the sternum. If you hit them in a critical area, they would just burst a line of blood and die.
Right,
It was
chest plate.
Yeah, so sometimes the matches were like 15 seconds, and sometimes you ran around for 5 minutes. You would just like run around chasing each other, or sometimes you would each swipe your legs out from under each other, and you'd be limping around for the rest of the match. It had some really cool mechanics. You could throw dirt in the person's face so they couldn't see or block, and then you could get an easy kill on them. And it also had unwritten rules, like if you kill someone while they're down or while they're climbing, or if you hit somebody from the back and kill them, that was like a dishonorable kill. You weren't fighting by the Bushido code, which if you didn't read the instruction manual, you would have never known about. So it's a really cool game, a lot of strategy to it. It's I definitely think you should go watch it on YouTube. I don't know if it's worth playing anymore. There were sequels that weren't that great, but For Honor definitely feels like a spiritual successor to that. So I think if you
I don't think it holds up at all, but I love that game.
Yeah, that game was fantastic. It just was there. It was very unnecessary strategically.
Yeah.
But if you liked that game, I think For Honor might be one of those is for you. So check Bushido Blade out, especially if you played the alpha this weekend. Check it out and let us know what you thought on Twitter at game_stitch.
I still have that game.
Bushido Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it holds up at all, but I did love it when I was younger. I used to take turns with my dad playing that game.
It had the craziest story mode ever. The story mode, you pick the character and you pick your weapon and whatever, but as you go through, you're going to fight. Like you start at one end of this open world map and you move to the other, but as you fight each one, if you don't kill them, you get a certain ending. If you injure them and don't kill them, you get a certain ending. If you kill them honorably, the story stops at a certain point, and if you kill them dishonorably, the story stops even earlier. So it had like this weird branching storyline depending on how your fights went. Also, it was pretty cool.
It's Bushido Blade, not to be confused with Tenchu
Or Battle Arena Toshinden.
They're all totally different games.
All different games. Or Toe Ball #1. You remember that game?
Yeah,
that was the dual. Right, were you on dual planes, high ground and low ground?
Sure.
Kind of. It's closer to Toshinden than any of the rest of the games that were just mentioned, though.
Yeah, but you had high ground and low ground, and then
always take
depending
the high
on,
ground.
Right, and then however you ran in determined how you started an advantage once it went to the arena.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Bouncer for PS2? Greatest launch game of all time.
Sounds like he's
strategic masterpiece.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh man!
Don't do it. I have the high ground. And then he does that weird flippy thing, and loses both his legs
And one arm.
Yeah.
At the elbow.
Spoiler alert.
Obi-Wan never made a tougher decision in his entire life. Broke his heart.
That's this week's Gone But Not Forgotten. If you have a Gone But Not Forgotten for us, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch using the hashtag GBNF, just like our friend Garrett Wade did.
Yeah.
And he says, here's a game that isn't necessarily a GBNF, but I've been loving. A mobile game called Giant Boulder of Death. Free to play. Let me walk you through this game in case you don't know. You're a giant boulder of death.
Okay.
Barreling down a hill towards things and running them over.
That sounds fun.
It's not bad.
You're like the anti-Indiana Jones.
You're like the boulder.
From
It's
Indiana
like Katamari?
From Indiana Jones, but except for that you're in a much more
like the
peaceful
anti
looking area.
So
You're trying
kind
to
of
smash more than just one guy.
it kind of looks like it has maybe a small Katamari feel to it.
That's the vibe I get from it more so, especially art wise. But again, you're trying to smash things, not collect them.
Not collect them.
I would love to see a new Katamari game on PS4.
Man, think of what the graphics could do.
They could be exactly the same. Nothing would change. I just want to play another Katamari game.
Did you ever play Touch My Katamari on Vita? It was really good.
No. I have all the other ones on PS2 though, and
Sounds like an invitation you shouldn't make in public either. You could get arrested.
the PS3 game.
I just walk up to strangers all the time and say, "Touch my Katamari, fool."
I bet you do. I don't know how you're able to make the podcast every week.
People are into that. They just reach out and grab a big handful of Katamari.
Uh-huh.
That game's incredible.
Katamari?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great game.
That's why I get a little frustrated when people are screaming about how they need a better system and like all this HDR stuff and 4K. It's like
There's good stuff out there.
some of the best games I've ever played don't look good.
Yeah. IQ.
I mean, Little Big Planet's not great looking. Mod Nation wasn't fantastic looking. Rocket League is not the greatest looking game I've ever played.
No. So much fun, though.
So good. Brilliant, even. Then you take a game that looks awesome, like The Order. Not a bad game, but not a great game. You know?
Right.
There's too much emphasis put on graphics sometimes. Gameplay is always. Nintendo proves it over and over and over. Like, make a good fucking game. People will show up and play it.
What if the NX is just all graphics?
I think we both know that that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
Nintendo wouldn't know how to
Anything's
do that if
possible.
they wanted to.
Anything's possible. I bet it's a 4K HDR Nintendo handheld that interfaces with your
I
TV.
bet you that's wrong.
I bet it's a Wii U that's all
Without the box.
self-contained.
Yeah.
It's all self-contained and has to snap off NES controllers that you can use.
Yeah.
I think it's Skynet.
I bet it's a board game.
It's a board game.
They're taking it back to their roots.
It's one of those little like handheld asteroid games you buy. The fucking
Yeah, the
Like
Tiger
handheld,
games.
and the Tiger games.
It's a big-ass game and watch.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's a deck of cards. Deck
with
of
removable
52.
controllers.
How about-
you can make phone calls?
I bought a double pack of cards yesterday.
Bicycle?
Yeah,
For
a
what reason?
black deck and a red deck. I'm going to start doing some card magic again.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God. That's what I'm getting back to, my roots.
You need to stop watching YouTube all the time.
No, I used to do magic. I'm getting back to it. It's a peaceful time in my life.
Yeah. By used to, define used to. Like, when is this used to?
High school.
All right, well, I used to do card
Hold on.
magic also. If you wanna,
You did magic in high school?
yeah,
Not
everybody.
not publicly, but at the house, yeah.
Oh.
I was pretty fucking good.
Check out
fucking
52 cards on YouTube. Check out Evan Cloyd's page, Disturb
seen all
Reality. He's really good for close-up magic and card magic. But
I'm
52 cards with a K on cards.
I
He's really good for some card magic if you want to get real good with your sleight of
I
hand.
brushed up on some beginner's tricks the other day, and
Oh,
Yeah.
brushed up.
some false cuts and pinky
Now you
breaks.
see
and,
me. Look at that. Now you see Ryan. Now you don't.
It feels
52
pretty good.
cards, man, on YouTube. Watch that guy.
Dude, there's something about magic. People appreciate not knowing how something was done.
I don't think so.
You're right.
I think you're overselling magic a little bit.
No,
You
I
say
mean,
that.
card magic is pretty fascinating. Coin
Yeah, you
magic
say
is
that.
better.
Yeah, coin magic's real fucking good too.
Yeah.
You
I'm
say
not,
that.
I'm not into magic.
That's what you say now until somebody just walks up and is like, "Hey, Dan, can you grab that card off the ground real quick?"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And you pick it up, and then there's,
'cause
like,
I don't
15
want to. I
cards,
don't.
like,
First
stuck
of all,
in
I
your
don't
face.
want strangers to talk to me.
What if they?
And second of all, I don't. The first thing they're going to say to me is pick up that card on the ground. I really feel like I should knee them right in the face because it's not a proper introduction.
Somebody just walks up, and is like, "Hey, can you check your front pocket for me real quick?" And you
Nope.
pull
Take it
out
out, there's a card that you signed, but you never signed a fucking card.
right, and they're like, "Is that your card?" You go, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's in your mouth.
No.
You're like, how the fuck did this even get here?
No.
Open up your wallet.
I'm glad you guys like. I'm glad everybody's got a thing. I'm glad. Mine's D&D.
I love D&D too.
I thought we were talking about cool things.
It's as cool as card magic is. Maybe
No, it's
cooler.
not. No, it's not. There's no way D&D's as cool as fucking close-up, sleight of hand card magic. There's no way.
It's pretty fun.
I'm
Have
not.
you ever played D&D?
All right.
Yeah,
we need
one
to wrap
time.
this up. I have to go to breakfast.
D&D World of Darkness, anything like
What
that?
if breakfast
Tabletop
comes
games.
to you?
That happened to you. It's not. My wife has actually just texted me. She's out waiting.
She
in my
doesn't
truck.
like you.
No, she's out in the truck waiting for me to hurry up and get done. So
Oh,
we
you
can
guys
go.
are going to breakfast.
She's just
Turned
sitting in the
out-
truck. You don't even have a shirt on.
I gotta put a shirt on when I'm done here.
God
We
damn.
go to one of those special hillbilly diners,
Oh,
outside
that's fun.
seating.
That's fun.
Gross.
Great.
I'm still pretty sure you have to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
I'm putting a shirt on.
This has been episode 193 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. If you want to find us on social medias, I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is
magic.
at Shirtless Dan. And Matt is at Goddammit Matt. Be sure to follow us on there. As a collective, as a group, we are at Game_Stitch. Remember, you can always write in using podcast@gamestitch.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, share on all the social media sites, all the places you listen to this very podcast. iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, those places.
We end each and every show with a segment we like to call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. This week, no different.
For all of you grillers, smokers, and cookers out there.
All you smokers.
When you said grillers, I thought about a gorilla.
I thought about the grillers from Taco Bell.
No, just like a griller at the zoo. Let's go over and see the grillers.
They're not grillers.
Like Harambe?
Yeah, it's a griller.
Dicks out.
Yeah, Harambe lives, dicks out.
Dicks out for Harambe. I don't know why.
Or fit.
Give your final thought.
I can't even remember what it is now, you motherfuckers. Talking about Harambe and shit. You hurt. I can't remember what it was.
You said for all the grillers, chillers, and motherfuckers.
Oh, yes. When you're cooking pork, just a little tip. When you're cooking pork, it's generally accepted that it needs to be at 165. This is a fallacy. It does not need to be at 165 degrees internal temperature. You only need it at 158 when you pull it off the grill. Then you let it rest for about 5 to 7 minutes, and it continues to cook itself and brings itself up to 165. This is how you cook pork perfectly. You don't cook it to 165 and then pull it off, because it's going to continue to cook as it rests. 155, 158.
Maybe yours. I'll take mine off and put it right in an ice bath.
I like my pork a little pink.
Gross.
Pork's okay to eat a little pink. This ain't
Nothing's
the 50s.
okay to eat a little pink.
I eat steak if they'll bring it out room temp. Not cooked at all.
I remember that one time, though, Matt, you said we went somewhere to eat, and you were like, yeah, I want mine as rare as you can get
Texas
it.
Roadhouse.
And then you were like, it was the grossest thing ever, and you were like, I don't think you finished it, because I don't think it was good.
That burger, it was a burger.
Yeah, but it was not cooked.
At all.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't think you finished it either. I think you even
I don't think you did.
I think you even made the statement, like, I like just a touch more than this.
Right, I think so, yes.
It was like someone made a patty and just tossed it on your bun.
Right.
And when you were taking bites, like, the fat was, like, stringing.
It was, you're right, it was Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I remember
no
because
way
it
that
fucking
that's the case.
traumatized me.
That's how I eat them now. I still eat them that way.
I don't think you finished it. It was cold, you said.
No. Yeah.
I don't know if
Like, they literally pulled it out of the freezer, made a patty, and...
I think you ate like 3/4 of it, but I don't think you finished it.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it's two against
And
one,
you
so
didn't
it's
finish
automatically
it.
true.
I don't know if that's
You're
true.
right.
That
2v1.
That can't
That's
be
right.
true.
That's the way it works.
Watch out, Twitter. I'm going to post some pictures of some raw food.
This has been episode 193. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.